apologies for the poor light. Basically, it's been another tough day. I've been screaming and twisting and turning and trying to find comfort, and I'm just trying to get myself out of it now. It has eased somewhat. I've managed to use a therapy device for about an hour, but I'm trying to use tobacco to decompress the pressure in my body. Somehow I seem to be in two places at once, on the International Space Station and somewhere in London. The pressure is insane. My eyes, anyway, I won't go into it. I'm just trying to make a live stream to get myself out of that place while I'm having a smoke. And, I've just not had time to get the position right, or the camera right, or the light right, so that's why it all looks a bit Blair Witchy. In fact, I'm starting to think that the Blair Witch was a forecast of my life. You know, it's like half these live streams must be terrifying to watch, if you believe any of it. But I don't want to diverge. Basically, the reason I'm making this live stream about this topic is I just want to talk about anything. It's just to talk, just to distract myself. And if I can, it's to share. And I made a really snazzy title earlier about Schrödinger, the experiment with the cat in the boxes, where one particle of a poisonous substance, and you can only kill one cat. And the title was still there as I picked up the live stream, and I was just going to start the live stream with that title and just talk about whatever. But I said to myself, well, if nothing comes up in the next 20 seconds, I'll just do that. And this idea popped into my mind, so I'm going to be talking about that. So hello, Brighton friends. And I don't know if it's true, the psychotic storyline, or not. But in the way I normally nitpick my psychotic storylines that get shoved into my head, there's too many. And I can normally, I don't have any control over them, so I might as well apply some logic at times to try and define truth from lie. And essentially I believe this storyline to be half true through my best efforts in sorting through an infinite impossibility of really knowing truth. But I'm honest with myself and I say, well, I kind of believe it's true. And basically, when I got the boat earlier this year, back in March, April, I was trying to do some work and I was staying over on the boat where I was moving back and forth between the flat. And I had a really horrible experience one night. And the reason before I go into the experience, I was in touch with my friend from Facebook, Shanti. He's been a real good friend. He's somebody, I've lost a lot of friends, but somehow I saw him a few years back, and I really appreciated him, and I've always appreciated his energy. And then around that time, I can't remember the reason, but I think I was in contact with him in the first instance. And I saw that he was doing some breath work. That's what it was. And I was inquiring if it was suitable for my current circumstance at the time. And I decided it wasn't. And essentially we got into discussion, and I said to him, I can't remember the reason, that I fear the Egyptian symbol, the Ankh. Basically, through my psychosis, I've watched movies over the years, Shrek, ironically, and of all movies, right? But Shrek, and there's been one or two other bits of information that link into that, where I've got a slight fear and hesitation around the Ankh and what it really stands for. But he expressed to me at the time, he's starting a school basically based upon Egyptian wisdom, and the Ankh is a big part of that. And I was a bit, from my perspective, from my idiot, childlike, autistic perspective, I always like my friends to do what I like. But it's okay if they don't. And he didn't want to... No, not that he didn't want to, but he said, look, I'm starting a school in the Ankh. And I thought the conversation was on the level. And there wasn't any animosity. I wished him the best for his school. And that was it. But then around that time, it was as if I had some sort of Ankh-like experience happen to me. It was very unpleasant. It was very graphic. Well, it wasn't very graphic, but what normally contributes graphic nature, I experienced on an energetic level happening to me. And where I'm normally in tune with the weather, in other words, the weather normally responds to how I feel on some level. I had a very traumatic, I'll say the word and I apologise for it, but rape-like experience on an energetic level. And ever since then I've been disconnected from the weather, and it's really been antagonising me in my life, this disconnection. And like today, where I was in pain, it was quite sunny and the sun was shining through for most of the day. It didn't coordinate with my emotional experience, and I haven't accepted it, but I have to just get on. What am I going to do? Change the weather? I can't. But when you're in pain, essentially your eyes coordinate with the weather, the light. To give you a certain level of rest in your body, your nervous system. Imagine going to a nightclub. I don't know if, my friends in Brighton must have been to nightclubs, and one of those nightclubs that runs all night. And you're dancing, and it comes along to 6 o'clock in the morning and they whack the lights on straight away. It's a shock to the body. It's a literal shock. You feel the shock. Yeah, you can try and tough it out, but if you're honest, it's a shock to the body. And unfortunately today, and countless of times ever since, where I'm in pain, I'm at my limit. I'm pushing my limit to extreme extents. It's never been as bad as it has today. And when you don't have any extra expendable energy, you can't do a thing about the light. It hurts. And that's why I'm making the live stream. That's how it arose to me to make this live stream about this topic today. But there was also other messages I got from Brighton friends all around the same time, when I hadn't really been getting any messages from anybody for years. Well, at least since I started making the live streams. I got a few at the beginning and that was it. But ever since they stopped, I hadn't really got any. And all of a sudden, my Brighton friends all got in touch with me at the same time. And I had this experience that was very unpleasant, a disconnection from the weather, with another friend from Brighton. And it just seemed that on some energetic, psychic, collective psychosis level, my friends from Brighton decided to beat the shit out of me on an energetic level, and decided to apply the Ankh as punishment or as healing. And what I understand of the Ankh on its basic level, and I'm probably well wrong, but it's a case of it entraps you within your body and applies a lot of pressure. And that pressure basically makes your anger come to fruition and hit a limit. And once you've hit your limit, you gain peace. It hasn't done much other than antagonise me countless of times. I don't like anger for anything. I never have done. But I'm angry all the time because my circumstance. And the pressure in my body is just otherworldly. So that's the story. There's not much more to say, and it has half helped. And just as an end note, if any of my friends from Brighton are watching, please click on my Facebook page. I have a pinned post there that I've been hoping that can be passed on to another friend in Brighton. And you know, I don't understand what the F is going on. I still hold you as friends on one level, as much as I'm totally confused and scared on another level about you all. But then again, that's not a real surprise. All my friends, all my family have really attacked me on a psychic, energetic level, so it's no real surprise that you should jump on board too. But either way, I don't communicate to you in anger due to that, as much as I hold anger and resentment there, until it's categorical enough or disturbing enough. That's when I'll start saying, right, I need to disconnect myself from these people. The reason I'm saying that is because I'm asking for a message I have as a pinned post on my page to be passed on to another friend in Brighton. I don't know if it's linked to that, but it's got something else. It's linked to another element of my mental health that's troubling me. And if you want to read the pinned post, it basically states it all. It's on the level. I don't hold any malicious intent, but unfortunately, due to this other mental health disturbance, I've had to defriend myself from this person, and I can't send that message on directly. And unfortunately, the truth is, I'm sure I could if I really thought about it, but I don't have the ability with my life at present, and I probably won't do for a few more months. And it is disturbing me on a daily basis. So if any of you still have any, I don't know what to call it, warmth towards me after me coming out as mentally ill, essentially, and trying to ride that out and trying to be as much at peace with what my mental health is asking of me, as much as my past is what it is. So in other words, what you knew of me in the past is going to be very different to what you see on the live streams. I kind of have to take that attitude, otherwise I'm going to be fighting an acceptance of my mental health my whole life. And I've had it for the last 10 years, and I know it's not going to go away. And the best thing I can do is accept it and try and live with it, and that's all I'm trying to do. And it looks like what it looks like, on top of the person that you once knew. And I know the person I once knew, so it must be like maddening to think how I could change so much, but in that you have an idea of what my mental health is like. But if one of you could kindly pass it on and just put in the comment that it's been passed on, I can remove that pin post from my page, and I'll gain the slightest amount of rest in my mind to my mental health with that psychotic storyline. And hopefully over the next few months it will ease even more. Otherwise it's just like zapping my energy, and it's just, well, the post says it all. But look, whatever happens going forward, I hold fond memories of my time in Brighton. I call it the hippie capital of the UK, and that's how I viewed my friends there. And I respect that, because no other real definition of a person, or at least here in Europe, but more so the affluent countries within Europe, have any real credit. But in my heart and in my mind, the label of a hippie is something to be worn proud in this world. And I appreciate that energy more than any other interaction I've really had with people. Pretty much most of my life, but I've grown up in London, and that energy isn't really present. So I thank you for the past. Who knows what the future holds?